Outfitting is this really cool part of tourism that allows us to share the natural beauty of Canada and Saskatchewan with people from all over the world. And so the backdrop of the wilderness provides this place where memories are made. They can be angling, they can be chasing waterfowl and upland birds, or big game here in the province. And we bring these folks from all over the world, show them the special parts of the planet that we call home, the wildlife, the waters, the woods. And they take home these memories that shape them as people for the rest of their lives.
It virtually takes place in the entire province. We have outfitters that are in the Swift Current area or even further south, right up into the Northwest Territories. And we have outfitters that operate fishing lodges. We have outfitters that operate bird hunting camps, bear camps, deer camps, and I believe we have some guys that offer a little bit of moose hunting as well.
At these different camps, there are a variety of different jobs between licensed guides, between management, and then also on the flip side of that, in terms of the hospitality experience and customer service, there's kitchen team members, there are housekeepers and front of house members and people that are ensuring that the meal times run smoothly. Also, usually there could be some sort of added position for maybe a massage therapist or somebody who's specifically offering more experiential options to the guests as well. In different camps, they have kind of different programs, and I've seen ones where the rotation actually switches a little bit with your position, so you could go in thinking to just maybe be a housekeeper, but also being needed to help serve or to help bartend, and so you kind of get a more holistic experience of the whole customer service that you're delivering.
Within the industry, it employs a vast amount of people with different skills and level sets of what they're able to do, from great cooks to mechanics to carpenters to people cleaning. The list goes on. At the camp I operate, we have staff, maintenance staff, cooks, cleaners, dock hands, guides, which is a huge part of our business in the forefront. Having the guides out there, they're the front of your business, along with everybody else that puts themselves in front of your clients. So there is a ton of opportunity for people wanting to within this province. And there's it is such a vast difference of areas you can work in when it comes to outfitting.
The main season generally is summertime, so from spring through to fall. However, there are year-round operations that offer ice fishing and operations that operate on the shoulder season. So there might be a spring bear, there might be the summer fishing, there might be the fall hunting, the fall waterfowl. And again, wintertime, you're looking at ice fishing.
We hire contract people for the spring bear season, which basically runs from May till middle of June. So there's 5 or 6 weeks there. And then in November, pretty much the month of November, we also hire, guides, and my wife hires somebody to help in the kitchen.
For me, it's just a fishing lodge, but for a lot of people, they're able to go from a fishing lodge to a hunting lodge in the fall and maybe some other lodge similar to that throughout the wintertime. And then again, you can find other work in the industry in the spring. So I think there is a potential to make it a year-round workplace for yourself, and you get a ton of experience out of it. You get to probably travel the country doing it if you wanted to. So I would highly recommend the industry to somebody that is looking into it and looking for work.
It's been almost 30 years for me there, and I love it. I look forward to it every year. It's the people. I've met so many great people over 30 years. The lifestyle, just being out there.
Working in this industry has given me a lot of opportunity to explore the natural world and to see this untouched beauty in the part of the country that maybe a lot of people wouldn't otherwise visit. I've had so many great experiences and seen so many beautiful things that I never even knew were really an option. I've met some unbelievable people, some of my best friends to this day I've worked with, and you're working in such a team environment alongside each other that everybody really builds each other up, and it's a real great energy and positive experience in terms of if you're a social person, for sure.
The memories you make and the experiences you have, working at a place like a fishing lodge or a hunting lodge, every day is different, and the things you get to do during work, but also the things you get to do afterward, like going fishing or spending time on the water. Those are memories I'll have for the rest of my life, and I'll just continue to make those because that's something I've fallen in love with in the industry, and that's why I'll probably try working it as long as I can.
When we mention adventure, that means there'll be oftentimes you get to go and fish a lake that no one's ever fished before, or go see animals that have never seen another person. That is the sort of thing that the opportunity really drives here, and you get to go and experience these places with these amazing people that such a small subset of the population actually gets to see and do, and that's truly special.
Just to see people experience a great time and see that smile on their face, and see experiences that they've never seen before, to see it through their eyes the first time, that's always the best.
Before working at any kind of camp, you definitely have to anticipate a huge variety of different weather and to be prepared for just about anything in that sense, because there can be extremely hot days, there can be wind and rain, and so just having an understanding of it's quite unpredictable, and to be ready for that, and to anticipate hard work. You'll absolutely have your time off and be able to see that part of the country and explore, but it's a bit of a grind, and you have to be willing to be part of the team and to be all on the same page together and to work hard.
A lot of times you're going to want to know what your accommodations are or what is expected of you for travel and your hours of work. Some camps require you to work for sort of the set day. Other camps are going to have hours. It might be a split shift. You might be working a morning shift and then working again in the evening.
I think for big game camps in Saskatchewan, most of them, unlike the fishing, most of them are rural, like you can drive to the camps. Most camps are located fairly close to a town or a grocery store.
Yeah, in my operation, we go in, we work every day that we're in. And they're long days. I mean, every day, it is sometimes becomes a bit of a grind. I mean, we're up at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, and lots of times we're not done till 9 o'clock at night. You're living with people that you're working all the time with. So that's a little bit different scenario than having a job in Saskatoon where you go home every night and you get a bit of a break.
It's semi-isolated, so you've got to be prepared to be away from home for, it's not like shift work, but you go for a block of time, like 2 months.
Well, right off the bat, it's definitely not an 8 to 5 job. Deer season, somebody's up starting to get breakfast ready, usually by 4:30 in the morning. So the days are very long. You're up early. You're actually taking clients out in the dark as a rule to get them in stand just before sunrise. So it's long days. The bear seasons, it may not be such early mornings, but it may be later in the evenings because the sun doesn't set till 10 or 10:30 in the evening. So it might be midnight by the time you're back into the lodge with everybody and sitting down to have supper.
If you're a person that enjoys being in the outdoors, showing people a great time, and enjoying it yourself.
You have to enjoy people in this job. Doesn't matter if you're the manager, the cook, the owner, the guide. If you don't enjoy people, you're not going to enjoy your experience.
I just have to say, number one, if you enjoy an adventure, Number 2 would have to be if you enjoy a challenge with satisfaction.
Meeting new people, spending a lot of time in beautiful outdoor surroundings, and being able to adapt to whatever's asked of you, really.
But it's not for everybody.
We're getting a job at a camp. I think you need to have some realistic expectations what conditions are going to be like. Depending on camps, your accommodation may be fairly rustic. It won't be a tent, I'm sure, but different camps have different options for their guides. It's going to be fairly rustic. Hours are going to be fairly long, short season.
If a person's looking for a guide job, yeah, you're gonna be cleaning birds normally. You're gonna be gutting out deer, skinning, caping deer. So yeah, if you want to be a guide, make sure you're not scared of a little bit of blood.
Once an animal's harvested, the guide would then be responsible for tagging that animal, getting the tags put on it so everything is legally looked after. And then usually the number one priority from then is to get some photos so that the client has some photos.
Outfitting businesses tend to be seasonal, and so hiring of staff is really important, and it's important to follow through with the commitment of your job. So if you've been hired, knowing the length of the position and being able to fulfill that length once you've been hired. During the season, for an outfitter to rehire for your position if you depart early is next to impossible when they're in the busy operating season. So ensuring that you're able to be there for that duration is definitely important.
If you don't love to be in the outdoors and love to be around people, I would say outfitting's probably not for you.
Customer service, I would say that's almost the number one requirement. You have to understand customer service, because no matter what aspect of the business you might be involved in or hired for, whether it's housekeeping, whether it's guiding, whether it's camp work, whether it's a manager, you have to have customer service. Other skills are adaptability, flexibility, able to problem solve. The world of outfitting and camp life is not regular. It's not normal. Anything and everything can happen at any given time. So having staff that are able to think on their feet and solve problems and work independently as well as with the team, but independent is important because when things are busy, each person really has a requirement to do their job and do what's expected of them.
Probably first aid is a big thing. Safety of your guest is always paramount. Different certification courses you can obtain through STEC that will cover those things. Familiarity with equipment, with boats, with weather conditions. Good common sense on head on your shoulders goes a long way through the day. Changing weathers, thunderstorms, that kind of a thing. You need to be really ready to shift gears, but at the same time, safety is number one.
So the guides have to be prepared to, be even a little bit of a professional butcher when it comes to taking care of the game after it's harvested.
I guess we offer training when it comes to if somebody hasn't field dressed an animal. If we've got somebody who has a great love for the outdoors and the wildlife that we're interacting with, we can easily show somebody how to field dress an animal.
I think whatever job you might be applying for, like you said, if you are a cook, you definitely want to have some cooking experience. But for me, when I started, I had next to zero experience. I knew a little bit about the industry through working at these retail stores, and that helped. But essentially, I'd say I had very minimal experience. But I was, a fast learner, and I was willing to try things and just willing to do whatever was asked of me. And I think that was a big part of it.
A good attitude and a great work ethic is all that's required. Certain jobs require more or less experience. a head chef in a lodge kitchen, we expect you to be able to turn out food for a number of people. And then for a guide, we expect there to be a skill set of being able to operate a boat and knowing how to make shore lunch and build a fire. But for the most part, with the right individual, many outfitters are willing to train that person to do the specific tasks that they would like to see. It's just a positive, hardworking individual is all we're really looking for. The SCPO website has a job listings area, Kijiji and Indeed and things like that, where people would post jobs. But what I would encourage people to do is look around at some places in an area that they want to work at. Look at the website, see if there's a particular outfitter that resonates with them and what they want to experience, and send an email to that outfitter. And one thing I would really suggest people do strongly is take the 10 minutes and write a half-decent cover letter in the email. Give them what you're looking for out of it, your experiences, how you can add to the team.
You're getting to do a job that people dream of doing. You have an opportunity to spend every day outside and take people to have fun, and you're surrounded with the excitement and the joy of it all. So take that into consideration too when it comes time to picking these jobs. It's maybe not gonna be the most lucrative job, but as a whole, it might be the most lucrative job.
Yeah, I think, for me, a big benefit of, working in the industry, it was just the experience I gained, going into it with minimal experience, whether that was carpentry or mechanics or anything of that sort. In the 10 years I've worked for the lodge, I've learned a lot of different things, and I've been able to come home and utilize those skills, in my own life back home, whether that's, house renovations or working on things and fixing things. So I think working for the lodge and in the industry, that was a huge benefit for me.
It's hard to put into words, but I wouldn't trade the experience I've had with tourism. It's been very positive, and it's healthy. You're outside.
I've had parents that have told me that it's changed the thought process of their son or daughter that's come up there. I mean, they've met interesting people. They've come up with different ideas where they want to go in their life. And they've met staff that are doing different things as well. And so it's a bit of an eye-opener because it's such a different atmosphere than any other job you're going to have.
It's a very rewarding business. I've always said that there's not many jobs in this world that you can meet a total stranger, and by the end of 3 or 4, 5, 6 days, make a friendship and have those people leaving with a smile on their face. It's a very fulfilling job.